Hi, welcome to this week's video. We are going to look into how you can lose weight or change your body composition positively without going on a diet or counting calories. So lots of really great tips in here. Make sure you watch until the end so that you can get the biggest understanding. Because if you implement all of these things in 2023, I guarantee you'll be looking a lot different by the end of the year. The reason why I decided to make this video is because so many people avoid weight loss despite the fact that they desire it more than anything because they are so traumatized by the amount of diets they've gone in the past. They don't want to count their food and they don't want to put themselves in this cycle of going really hard, losing weight, and then putting it all back on again. So yes, there is a really great way of losing weight, and that is to track your calories, weight train, and follow a deficit over time. But there are other ways you can do it without counting if you're not ready for that. So tracking calories is a very specific body composition goal. Like if you're really wanting to refine and hone in on your physique, and look toned and build muscle and all of those things, that's when you need a stricter approach. But if you just want to lose weight because you feel terrible in your body, but you don't want to go that hardcore, then all of these tips are going to help you achieve that. So I have 10 recommendations for you, and they're all really simple. You can even implement one of them each month this year or something like that. So let's start with number one. And that is that you need to stop dieting. So obviously the point of this video is to get you off the diet. So that is my first point. Get off the diet. If it's not working successfully for you or it hasn't worked successfully for you in the past, then you should stop. I have other videos on this topic, which I will link down below, regarding why perpetual dieting can damage your metabolism and make it harder to lose weight, as well as a video on how to repair your metabolism. But for now, I just want to focus on the most important point, which is that the perpetual dieting is actually making it hard for you to lose weight in the long term. It's damaging to your thyroid, it increases your stress levels, it's frustrating because you're not succeeding, and 99% of the time it does not work. So make that your theme if you're a perpetual dieter. I will not diet in 2023. And remember too that the word diet has been hijacked. So a lot of the time people think that if you're eating healthy food, you're on a diet. No, like people always ask me, are you still on that diet? No, I'm not on a diet, I'm just eating healthy. Eating healthy is what is best for the body. And that's what we should all be doing. So just remember that the word diet actually describes what a species eats. It is not the description of a hardcore, soul-destroying, calorie-restricted weight loss method. It is what we eat. That is what a diet is. So stop dieting, aka get off the deficit. Stop doing the fad diet. Stop trying to lose weight as fast as possible. And focus on the rest of the tips I'm about to throw into this video. The number two is to work on repairing any emotional drivers behind your eating. So all habits have an emotional driver underneath. So you're trying to protect yourself from uncomfortable emotions. That is generally the crutch of it. But that is called self-regulation. So if something starts to come up or it triggers you in some way, your nervous system activates and you tend to grab food in order to bring yourself back down or to self-regulate. Because eating is soothing, it increases dopamine, and the more delicious the food you're going to grab, aka the more junk laden it is, the more likely you're going to grab it if you're emotionally weighed down. And pro tip, your emotions do not heal themselves and you can't really learn to self-regulate without putting effort into this. So you have to address them. Face them front on. It can be hard work, but it doesn't have to be heavy or really uncomfortable. So there are lots of things that you can start to look into, and these are the things that I would recommend. The first one is body memories. So have a look into the way that your body holds memories, and look into somatic therapy, because that is directly working with the body to help to heal, to help to self-regulate and learn more about yourself on a deeper level. You could look into attachment theory, which is how you bonded with your caregivers as a child. That really dictates the comfort and your ability to self-regulate and self-soothe as an adult. And you can look into just the memories that you can just draw up from your conscious mind. So, were you bullied? Did you have a hard time at home? Have you never had a solid relationship? Do you have toxic friendships? Like, start to draw on these kinds of things, because if you can start addressing these emotional drivers, then you're not going to need the food in order to push them down again. And the third recommendation is to work on reducing your stress. I talk about stress all the time because it very negatively impacts your body composition and your eating habits and your sleeping habits and all of the above. So stress is basically anything that supersedes the body's natural ability to regulate itself and to keep itself in homeostasis, which is balance. So if you have like chronic anxiety, depression, negative thoughts, and all this kind of thing, that is highly likely you are not managing your stress levels. If you eat, if you drink to self-soothe, if you over-exercise to self-soothe, if you're constantly trying to control your weight out of the fear of how you actually look, or if you have any kind of addiction, this indicates that you are under stress. And in some cases, these activities are actually helping you lower the stress and self-regulate, as I mentioned earlier, but other times are actually just compounding and making things worse. Not all coping mechanisms are healthy. So things like meditation, journaling, breathing exercise, I'm not talking about breath work, I'm talking about breathing to calm the nervous system down, and just mindfulness practices. You can get all of these things for free online. These are all really great tools to help the nervous system start to self-regulate and to just calm things down. And if you can't calm things down, if it makes you really uncomfortable, then this is because you have too much stress. So you have to focus on that as your number one priority. And I have been there, done that, and can't recommend it anymore. And another obvious way of reducing your stress would be to start trying to identify the things that you know cause you stress and start to eliminate them or work through them. For example, if there's workplace bullying, file a report. If there's a problem with your partner, discuss it with them. If you have a toxic friend, remove them from your life. There's really no excuse to keep toxic things in your life other than, for whatever reason, you feel unsafe to lower your stress levels. So that is another thing you can look into. So we do this thing where we just keep ourselves in this hell loop and just go round and round and round with our own toxic crap, which is terrible for our health, stops us from reaching our goals, prevents us from feeling joy, and there's absolutely no benefit to it. And if you relate to any of that, I recommend you work on that one as a number one priority. Then number 4 is to start lifting weights. A predictable one, because I'm a personal trainer, I know, but the reason why I'm a personal trainer and why I focus on weights is because they are so beneficial. In terms of maintaining your body composition, a healthy body composition in the long term, weight training is essential. There's actually no way around it. So it increases your bone density and it helps you build muscle. And with every year that you age past 30, you actually start to lose muscle. And especially for women once you pass menopause, because your body doesn't need it anymore. But fun fact, if you're using it, you will not lose it because the body will keep whatever it is that you're forcing it to use. So if in your environment, like your everyday life, you're doing weight training, even if it's only 2 days per week, that tells your body every 3 or 4 days that this muscle is essential for your survival because you're just going to keep using it. So it won't lose it. And lost muscle mass is actually directly associated with over fat mass. So the more the muscle comes up, the more the fat starts to come down. And there's a lot of reasons for that I won't explain in this video, but just keep in mind that if you did 2 full body weight training sessions a week, this is going to help you improve your body composition over time. And just scrap from your brain if you've heard that myth about lifting weights meaning that you can eat more, because that will actually have the opposite effect of what we're trying to do with these goals. You can't eat that much more. It's probably about 50 calories a day, maybe 100 calories a day, which is like a banana. So it doesn't give you a dramatic metabolic rate increase. It just helps you load muscle over time. And over time, with lots of extra muscle, you will be able to eat more and maintain your current body weight. And number 5 is you need to reduce your sugar consumption. And what I'm talking about here is the refined sugar. So I'm not talking about fruit. I'm not talking about natural sugar. I'm talking about that crappy stuff in the packets that's full of pesticide-covered cane sugar and a whole bunch of added fat. But if, for example, you're eating like 4 or 5 pieces of fruit a day, I would also say that that is excessive. Nobody needs to eat that much, but it's hard to do. So you're probably not having that problem. But if you compare something like eating a pack of lollies with 5 apples, same carb consumption, which one are you going to be able to do? Not the apples. 1 apple at a time is a lot of food because it's got the fiber in there to slow the blood sugar spike down. Okay, so it's the processed sugar, lower it. Always remember that any excessive food you eat, it will be stored as fat. That is how the body works. If you don't burn that up, it's going to become body fat. So by lowering your sugar consumption, you're not only protecting yourself from insulin resistance, protecting your blood sugar from spiking up and down and crashing during the middle of the day, you're actually creating an environment for the body where it has stability. And stability is crucial for healthy body composition, and it is crucial for a really great mood, lowered anxiety, balanced energy levels, and all this other good stuff. And also keep in mind the only essential nutrients in a human diet is protein and fat, essential fats. Carbs are not essential. So if you're doing a lot of physical activity, carbs are absolutely recommended, but it is not that hard to eat 200 grams of sugar per day that you are not even burning up. And you are still going to be hungry because the essential nutrients have not been eaten yet. Okay, so always prioritize your protein and your fat, and then you can throw in the carbs on top, but try and make sure those carbs come from natural sources. And I'm not demonizing sugar in general, like you can have treats with your friends and do all of those things. But what I'm saying is don't avoid natural sugar, avoid processed sugar as much as you can. And if you do consume it with your friends or family or whatever, doesn't matter, it's all about balance. But eating it every day is not a balanced diet. Eating it a couple of times per week is probably more like a balanced diet. And also eating a whole block of chocolate is not a balanced diet either. So the lower your sugar consumption, the healthier your body composition is going to be. That is the main thing I want you to take away from that point. Number 6, I kind of covered accidentally in the last point, which is to focus on protein and fats. So as I said, amino acids, which is protein, and fats, aka healthy fats, which are referred to as omega-3. The omega-6 is not the essential fat, the omega-3 is. If you get plenty of that, then you're not going to have the same cravings. But if you eat heaps of sugar, especially if you start the day with sugar, that's all you're going to want for the entire day because it sets the body off on the wrong cycle. It still doesn't have its essential nutrients. And what it does is it asks for more of that quick burning sugar, and you become this sugar burning person by priority rather than a protein fat burning person. So the carbs should be there to support your activity, your hormones and your thyroid, but noting that the sugar does not support any of those things. And the protein and fats, if you eat enough of those, you will not eat as many carbs as you otherwise would. And once again, I'm not talking about things like salami, cabanossi, McDonald's burgers, vegetable oils, or anything like that. I'm talking about really healthy protein sources and really healthy fat sources. So meats like salmon, chicken, grass-fed beef, whey protein, eggs, and healthy fats like fish, avocado, flax seeds, chia seeds, and dark chocolate. They're all really amazing additions to a healthy diet, as is a fish oil. Get a really good quality fish oil that is high in omega-3, and your food cravings will come down. Now we have number 7, which is to limit your alcohol consumption. So alcohol is a poison. Unless you're in the hills of Italy in a vineyard with a sulfate-free biodynamic wine in a completely stress-free environment, your wine is not going to do you any favors. You don't need to quit the alcohol, you just need to reduce it, and your body will do the rest. So alcohol is one of those substances that is prioritized by the liver, but the liver is also required to burn fat, digest, and clear hormones like estrogen and other toxic chemicals from the environment out of your body. But if you put alcohol in, as that is a poison, everything else gets pushed to the back and the alcohol will be the number 1 priority. So there are a lot of people that eat very well but drink way too much and don't look the way they want. They drop the alcohol, and I have seen it 100 times. The body composition naturally recovers without any other lifestyle change. So just the alcohol goes, that's it. And they lose weight. So if you're alcohol dependent, go back to my recommendation number 2, which is to work on the emotional triggers, because most of the time the alcohol is a way of down regulating a overly stressed nervous system. So look into why you are stressed. Do you have anxiety? Are you not managing things at work? Do you not set boundaries properly? Where is this stress coming from? And why are you drinking to bring yourself back down? And keep in mind as well, alcohol is a depressant, and it also pokes holes in your gut lining, which can lead you to have a condition called leaky gut syndrome, which leads to food allergies, sensitivities, and an overactive immune system where your immune system is bogged down trying to attack all of these food particles that have gotten into your bloodstream. And if your immune system is activated, you will not lose weight. So lots to think about on the alcohol front. I should probably make a whole video about that, but that is why you should reduce it, and that is why it is on this list. Then we have number 8, which is to drink more water. Super essential. You die very quickly without water. And we do get water from fruit and vegetables and, things like tea, long blacks or whatever like that. But you do really want to intentionally drink more water. Hydration is essential for detoxification, and detoxification is essential for maintaining a healthy body composition and removing toxins from the bloodstream. So the more toxic you are, the more body fat you're going to store and hang on to. That is a plain and simple fact. So drinking water helps to move everything through your body. And as an example of how much water you should drink, if you are a 65 kilo human being, then 2.5 to 3 liters of water a day is ideal. That's if you're exercising. You know, if you do something like sauna, or if you do like really high intensity training and you sweat a lot, you need even more water. And a lot of people will say like, I'm not thirsty, that's why I don't drink water, or I pee too much. That is because you don't drink enough water. So if you very gradually increase your water over time, so whether you increase like 500 mils per week or every 2 weeks even, then this is going to help mitigate that problem. So you don't need to stuff it all in at once, because you're actually probably going to stress the body out because there's too much stuff's going to happen. So less is always more. You just add a little bit more each day or each week until you reach that target number. And with regular water consumption, you will have less fluctuations in your weight and the water under your skin. You will have less food cravings, you will sleep better. As I said, you will detoxify better, so you should have better energy, and your brain will be clearer. So drink more water. And number 9 is a very popular modern one, which is to get your steps in. So the recommendation of steps is 10,000 per day. This is for a sedentary person. So if you're someone who already went to the gym, for example, you would want to take off about 3,000 to 5,000 of those and then do the rest in steps. So you're just trying to make sure you're getting a regular amount of activity every single day. And 10,000 steps is about an hour walk, something like that. It's about 7 kilometers, depends on how quickly you're walking. But you'll also do probably about 1,500 to 2,500 of just incidental throughout the day if you're not exercising. So you cannot be healthy if you are not moving regularly. And if you are someone who can't exercise, then getting your steps is just the best thing that you can focus on. It's very simple. You don't have to walk hard. You just wander around the block or do whatever it is you got to do to get them in. And one thing you might not know about the human body is that we have this thing called the lymphatic system, which is the cellular waste disposal system. And it does not work unless you move. So unlike your circulatory system, which pumps blood around the body through the heart, so the heart pumps the blood and it moves all the nutrients around, your lymphatic system only works if you move. And what it essentially does is it absorbs all the toxic waste from the cells of your tissues. It goes into this lymphatic system and your movement starts to pump it around and it dumps it into the bloodstream so that it can be eliminated through all of your detoxification organs. So no movement, no lymphatic drainage, lots of toxic waste, no fat loss. So for clients of mine who train, say who do weights, I always recommend 10,000 steps per day on a rest day and 5,000 to 7,000 steps per day on a weight training day. And keep in mind that doing double the steps does not make you look doubly better. So a lot of people have this habit of going, oh cool, so I've learned this new habit, I'm going to do extra of that. And that's going to make things happen faster. It won't. So just do the regular every day. Try and do it as many days as you can from now until the end of the year, and you'll see a positive change in your body composition. And now we have lucky last, number 10, which is to prioritize your sleep. So sleep is where the body repairs, resets, rejuvenates, and gets you ready for another day. You know, it's the only time where your brain's out of the way and your body can actually repair itself. And if you don't get enough stress, then your inflammation and your stress levels will be higher throughout the day. The poor sleep is also associated with cardiovascular problems, brain fog, sugar cravings or other food cravings, and obesity, which is why it is featured in this video. Sleep hygiene is very important and everyone has a different amount of sleep that they need. So some people sleep 6 hours or 7 hours and they actually feel amazing. And then other people need 9 or 10 in order to have that same feeling. It really depends on the quality of your sleep, how deep you sleep, and generally how you would spend the rest of your day. I know for me, if I have a really mentally active day, I need more sleep. And if I don't have a very active day, I need less sleep. The things that interfere with sleep include caffeine, especially have it in the afternoons, watching screens late at night. So you need to get blue light blocking glasses to block out the blue light from all of our devices. So the sun emits blue light, which is the same as what comes from your device. So the whole body works on what we call a circadian rhythm. And if you are looking at screens late at night, you're telling your brain unconsciously that it is the daytime. So your body actually doesn't know that it's supposed to fall asleep. And so many of my clients have gotten these blue light blocking glasses. You get them from backstartblue.com. They're only like $70 and they actually can't even watch their screens at night because it makes them so tired. So that's one of the best ways to improve your sleep right off the bat. That works for almost everyone. You want to avoid eating large meals before bed because that disrupts sleep. You want to give at least 3 hours if you can. If it's a small meal, then 2 hours is fine. But if it's a large meal, then 3 or 4 hours before you go to sleep. Lower your stress, which we talked about earlier. And just be mindful of doing really high intensity training later in the day because that's going to spike your cortisol, it's going to push all your blood pressure up, and it's just going to make it harder to relax. And another thing you can do is watch the temperature. So you want to be in a really comfortable temperature room. So not cold, not hot. Your body likes to be in an even temperature. and try and block out all of that light. So try not to have light coming through the curtains, the windows, try not to have a light on. Like I personally have a salt lamp next to my bed because it's an orange light. When I say blue light, it's actually a white light when you look at it. But an orange light is much better to have on because it does not tell the body that it's daytime when it's not. So you really want to spend your days setting your body up for a good sleep, as good sleep will ensure you have a healthy body composition. So let's quickly recap all of those points that I brought up. So the first one is to stop dieting. Get off the diet roller coaster. It is not serving your greatest purpose unless you are doing it in a specific, measured, and perfect way with a professional who knows what they're doing. The second one is to try and repair any emotional drivers behind your bad habits. So remember that every single addiction or habit that you have, including overeating or drinking alcohol or anything else that's interrupting your daily life, is driven by emotional stuff. So take a deep dive into that one. You want to reduce your stress. You want to lift weights to build muscle, and as you get older, protect the loss of muscle. You want to reduce your sugar consumption, not fruit, not natural sugar. This is all fine. You want to reduce your junk food sugar consumption. You want to prioritize healthy proteins and fats. You want to limit your alcohol consumption, so lower the poison levels in your body. Drink more water, get your steps in, and prioritize your sleep. So if you focus on those 10 things this year and no tracking of food, nothing like that, you'll notice that your blood sugar stabilizes, your hormones stabilize, your mood improves, your energy improves, and your body composition will 150% improve just by doing those things. And let's just say you did do those things and you had great success, then you can reflect at that point because your body will have reached its natural set point by a certain point, which, keeping in mind, is different for everybody. And once you reach that natural set point, you can decide if you would like to take it further or not. But the best thing about that is you've already implemented all of these amazing practices and your body is in such a good place that is highly likely to be receptive to a weight loss process. Okay, so those are the 10 things I recommend you do if you want to lose weight or improve your body composition, improve how you feel in your body and how you look without dieting or tracking calories. I hope you found that really helpful. If you did, then be sure to like this video and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them below, and I will see you next week.